Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Friday here on Limited Resources, and longtime viewers know exactly what that means. We are here to do some chat Gauntlet. That means I'm going to battle against viewers at MTGAdraft.herokuapp.com, where we're going to use this third-party website to draft Kaldheim cards and then export our decks over to MTGArena, where we will use the friend challenge system to battle each other in games. We play best of one here so that I can play all 7 of the viewers who volunteered their time today to participate in this event. And it makes a nice gauntlet, as we've called it, where I run through all 7 people I drafted against in a single game, and we see who wins the week with 4 wins. Will it be chat? Will it be me? Last season on Zendikar, the season crown came down to the last event. We came in, it was tied? I think we came in tied, and then I won the final week 4-3. So Zendikar was decided by a single game. To show you how close it is, how good my chat is, or how bad I am, one of the two. Well, we're evenly matched. Let's just say that. Let's assume that it's that we're evenly matched near the top of the mountaintop, right? Sure. In any case, I have a great time with this event. There's stakes. Those of you who don't know the stakes. The stakes are kind of fun. Of course, the main stakes are who can just win the week, who can win the format. But if chat does manage to really stick it to me and 5 win me, we go minor shopping. If chat can really stick it to me and go 6 wins, we go major shopping. And if chat, which they have not been able to do yet, obviously, can 7 win me, well, they get to decide my next haircut. So that's intimidating. I like to win my hair each week. So far I have. Eventually, at some point, I might not. That'll be interesting. But for now, that's what's on the line. I'm sure glad you're here to join us as we explore this format. If you want to explore the format on your kitchen table, though, you're going to need to check out my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. They cannot help you explore this format on MTGArena, but boy, can they help you get going in your own home. I don't know who you're playing with in your home these days, but if you are, check out CardKingdom.com to keep your decks going there. I know a lot of people get like the Friday the pre-release kits and have been doing pre-releases on their own at home in the pandemic, and you can do that kind of thing through Card Kingdom. You can get pre-ordered singles for the new set. It's all, is it technically out yet? I don't know. I got questions like that. I just go to CardKingdom.com and all of them get answered. So if you're interested in Card Kingdom and you're interested in Kaldheim, interested in keeping me on the air, I hope you take some interest in Card Kingdom through my panels down below, the chat, or the YouTube notes. They know you got there from here. Helps keep me on the air. So thanks for that, everybody. Now I am going to hop over to left monitor and we'll take a look at what's going on our Heroku app screen. I call it Heroku app sometimes, but that's just the name of the host site. The real name of the app here is MTGA Draft, and it was our friend Senryoku who is the person behind this site. If you want to thank them for the hard work on this tool, you can buy Senryoku some coffee. And anyway, basic site here in terms of layout is not super flash. A lot of detail though. You can a lot of information on how to get set up and get going. But we all know what we're doing here. Hat is running the show here over as the king of this session, and Hat's going to do a ready check, make sure everybody's here. I'm going to say good luck to all but one. That is my. Oops, missed the good luck to all but one. That's what I was trying to do. Because as long as I win once, I get to keep my hair. Chat, I'm happy to go shopping with chat, but I really don't want you to take my hair. So I say good luck to all but one. Now, here we are. Draft in. Faceless Haven looks like a snow reward. Snowland, add snow and 3 snow, and it becomes a 4/3 creature with vigilance and all creature types until end of turn. It's still a land, so like a Snowdevault, Mutavault Snow. So there's that. I also like Poison the Cup, Foretell Removal, super strong. Behold the multiverse for some great card draw. Highland Forest for the if you're gonna take a Snowland though, just take the rare. And I don't know. With the way Snow is going, I kind of just want to poison the cup here. I don't... You take the rare. I mean, it's good. The trouble, one issue I have is that, like, let's see, who are we passing to? I'm passing to Grim Pac-Man, and Math is passing to me. I wouldn't be on Behold over Poison, but I don't blame you for it. I still think I would just take the clean removal spell. But by taking the rare Snowland, we pass the Snowland and could end up not... like sending the wrong signals. I almost just want to send the good Snow downstream and let other people do it. People say black is bad. It's been like the only thing I've been having success with. So I don't know. I'm gonna take the Poison the Cup and let the gang there fight on Snow. Although we can take Ice Shaper now. That's just a good card. Vega the Watcher could pit, although it doesn't match the cup. I do like the blue-white Skies Foretell deck, though. But Svella seems fun. No, this is for the... this is not the Streamer Showdown. This is the Chat Gauntlet. I'm going to take Svella. I just moved off of Snow, per se, but this does not need to be Snow-driven. If you're just doing the thing, it's fine. Svella is just powerful. So yeah, let's take Svella and see. Meme value is there too. We'll keep an eye on the Snowlands, I think, with the way that... Ooh, this is a... Wow, interesting pick. Avalanche Caller is a real reason to be in Snow. And if we'd started down the Snow path, I'd be super happy with that. Tegrid Shadow is a reasonable follow, too, though, as somewhat of a Wrath effect if you play it right. Rimewood Falls is here, though. We could take the Snow Duel... and see if the Avalanche Caller comes around. Village Rite, Skull Raid, we could also keep on... Yeah, I don't... There's not really a great follow to Svella that's not just the Rimewood or the Avalanche Caller. Caller's not coming around, though. That's the thing. This is where I think the Snow situation is tough, because the suggestion from Luis and Marsh is prioritize these... dual land Snows, but they also are saying the point is like also prioritize the Snow payoffs at uncommon that are so good. Black removal certainly goes right with what we're doing. Let's... Tegrid Shadow in response to Avalanche Caller making a land on turn 4 would be funny. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Shadow. Let's see if we can carve out our lane in a black control shell. And we could indeed Jund them out if it leans that way. If we find more green, I like a base green black splash red seems doable. Saw a green rare and got excited, but that's not really for us. We could take Recruiter. Raven is probably just the best card here, and black-blue control is doable. You can take... Yeah, we can take the land. The land is interesting. Creates a dude, is in the Jund colors. But I kind of like taking these when they come. Yeah, we can take Horizon Seeker. I just feel it's kind of a weak pick. And I'd rather take the Raven, which I think is a better pick, and then see. We can get... I think Seekers can come later. Flying is so good in this format. I don't know. A lot of people saying they like Seeker more than Raven. It does cut the green. I'm going to go with my gut, though. Maybe y'all are right. Again, I try to listen to chat a little more these times because I can be behind on a format relative to where chat is at. So, well, but there are formats where flying is not that good. I could name, you know, flying is always relevant. But when I say flying is good, I mean that the defenses against it seem worse than the flyers available, and that's the kind of format I think this is. Flyers are always relevant, important, and part of the limited meta, but whether they're good is a different question. I'm not taking Dusk Wielders yet. If we're a Dusk Wielder deck, we'll get them very late. We could take Firewalker, and I could return to Old Faithful. It's probably what I'm going to lean into this afternoon. Vandal called as well. That was going to be my next point. There were best of one. It's really nice to have some artifact hate. If we want to take a stand for some green, it would be a good thing to do. There's no blue or black here, really. We could take Infernal Pet. But I don't think that's great. It can be tough to get this going. I kind of like the Firewalker just for... I don't think the Shadow Sage is very important. It's just whatever. I've found this to be whatever. I'll play it, but it's not a priority. Like, these are more of a priority to me. Yeah, I'm going to go Firewalker and hedge to my comfort zone, which has been black-red, although this is a weird black-red build coming together, not the typical stuff. Blue-white land, no. Snowland, no. Helm, maybe. You want to take the Snowland in case we still do snow? I kind of like the Raise or the Grim. Yeah, the Helm or the Raise. The black-red cards are leaping out at me, but where are we at on clock? I don't want to accidentally pick. Media just wants the snow. Well, I want to pivot to something that works, and I know that what's going on here in Rakdos has worked for me. So yeah, there is that. But if I take Snowland, what could it be a Sigil? Yeah, maybe nobody's doing it. I guess we'll hedge. We can hedge on the Snowland. Right? It's all just us trying to figure out what's open here, so that's fine. Again, I hate picking basic lands in draft, though. I really don't like the snow. I like the snow for its flavor for the set. I think it's very, very nice for a Nordic. It feels very Viking and Nordic to have snow in this world, but I don't love the mechanic, honestly. And I don't love what it does to us in draft here, having to pick snow lands so highly. Recluse. I think it's the fact that they're basics. Like, I don't know. It's not very exciting. Mammoth Growth, Recluse. Have people had success with this? This just feels like so clunky. Has anybody done this? Dodge's Shadow is true. But I think we still just want an actual creature, right? Look, we can make a 3-mana 4/4 that has a lot of work to make happen, or a 3-mana 4-power creature that just is. I'm going to take the Recluse. Saga is interesting too, although I just don't have any white yet. Seems a little weird to head that direction. Death Knell Berserker, though, I've been trying to lock in on black a little bit, and that helps. This is our last fresh pick, and there's still a Bergstrider here. We could take it and see what's around the corner. Or yeah, Mistwalker still being here. Let's take the Mistwalker. I like that. That's better than the... I was thinking this was the uncommon Berserker for a second. You know, the 1/1 that when you 2-spell gets +2/+2. That would be exciting and be worth taking. But you're right. Mistwalker is much more exciting than Berserker out of this pack. So we'll take the late blue here and keep an eye on these. And maybe the Raven will turn out to be prescient. Kind of like cutting the Haven... does this mean this might mean nobody's in snow, or that somebody early to our left is in snow and took the dual land over this? But we can take it. There's nothing else here really. We don't have any white spells yet, so we'd be starting on Courser Cleric, which I don't know. We're early enough that we could end up blue-white and it would be okay, but we can take the Haven still. I don't parse that well. If you're saying you're putting this in light snow, what? Media, what? I don't understand that comment at all, Media. Not at all. So snow-covered swamp, we'll take it, I guess. Maybe we're black, blue, snow? Snow control? Well, let's say it correctly. You're not... If you are, like, 3-color snow, 2-color with a tiny splash in snow, and you've got a ton of snow lands, you're not running Faceless Haven? I would run this as, like, my 18th land and consider it just a creature play that I use in my land drop slot. Skull Raid. Like, this would have been so good in the deck I showed yesterday, but I probably would have played it as an extra land. I wouldn't have cut a land from my mana base. I would have just added this over a spell. Chips Ahoy says, such good mana it can deal with it. And I'm saying I wouldn't even do that. I would just say, I would just treat it. I wouldn't let it disrupt my mana. I would just let it be a creature land that's in addition. Probably not doing red at this point. I feel like we're locking in on blue, black, some kind of Dimir shell here. You can take it too far, though. Yeah, snow decks are all full of stuff to grab mana, fix, etc. But they, like yesterday, that was my theory, and then there I was staring at a Blood in the Snow and 1 black source, right? So it happens. Did I pass a snowland there, or are you talking about this one? I don't think I passed any more snowlands. Oh, my third loss, my 03 third loss, Oppo had 2 Undersea Invaders. Oh yeah, lost to those Undersea Invaders. Red rare. Pretty good in aggro. Can't make me Snow Island first, but I might have to. There's nothing else here. What a crap pack for us. Wowie. Oh, yeah, sorry. This is good in anything, but I especially like this in aggro because top ending some gasoline is nice. It's good in any red, but I thought of aggro because of that specifically. Well, what are we taking here? This is garbage. This is just all garbage. We could take a Harbinger. I guess we take a Snow Island. We could take her and try it and see if the splash comes around, but I don't know. Yeah, if I'm going to hedge, I think I hedge on Spirit, right? Because we could easily end up in Sultai Snow from here. Yeah, I'm gonna take with like no. This is such a bad pack. Like we're looking at Snow Island if I don't take something like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Spirit. See where we end up. Not, there's a bit of a chaotic draft here, though. I'm not sure how I feel about this so far. We've got a green rare. If we're going to pivot into green, we could consider that, but we're not really green elves. Bergstrider. Does it just need... it's just if snow was spent. Yeah, Bergstrider is good here. Let's take the Bergstrider. I like that. Jarl or Bergstrider are both interesting. Bergstrider a little more control-y. Jarl I like a little bit more in the aggro stuff where I'm making attacks that look like I might be suiciding in some unimportant creatures that are actually setting up Jarl. Yeah, snow plains are the worst. Nobody wants snow plains. Oh, sorry, I got to pick. Glacial floodplain. Well, that's kind of a snow plains, but it does have a snow island attached. Priest is probably not going to be good enough for us yet to take here. This is a place where we could consider the Jarl. You think this is... What? I should read this, I suppose. Yeah, right now I'm still on floodplain. I should keep that highlighted in case this times out on me. Anything? Yeah, let's take the floodplains. If nobody's interested, I don't know who else in this draft is in snow, but we can take the floodplain here. I don't know if we're in snow. That's the really troubling part here. We can be light, like with Bergstrider. I want to play the Bergstrider, so I want some snow, so that's fine. But I feel like we're not in the right lane here. This is not good. Intruder. Take the Braggart because we do have a floodplain. Like maybe we are touching on white or something. Yeah, I don't know what... Sometimes you cut a color and you cut it so well that it starts flowing in pack 2 and somebody else jumps in on it. That can happen. People calling Pursuit a control card. I don't know about it. I don't know about that. Demonic Gifts has been called. I mean, if we're going to take a combat trick, we could take a combat trick that's walking. Do we have... I don't like this unless we're really doing things where we're happy to be re-triggering ETBs and stuff. Mistwalker I don't care about. Raven, whatever. Spirit would be interesting. Bergstrider's interesting. But yeah, I just don't think we have enough for this yet. But this is all garbage, which is the frustrating part. So I think it's the blue 1-drop. The Explore Whether Dogged Pursuit can be a control card. I agree with you, Chips. I think of it as aggro, not control. The land, if we do have some red and green that could be brought back. Let's take the land as the most powerful thing here. I'm with Scott. It's the most powerful thing here. It might be one of the least likely things we'll be doing here, but I at least like another snow-covered plains. Shadow Sage is control-y. We could maybe drop one of those in just to have some control elements. Goldvein Pick could be interesting on flyers. Run Ashore is control-y, but I don't want a bunch of these. I might want one, so I'm going to wait. No, I think this is good too. White is a little under drafted. Like maybe white's where we're supposed to be. Is it too late to get into white? Probably. I mean, we do have some... Because we've wasted all these picks on freaking basic lands. Yeah, maybe I just take the Infernal Pet. We're like... this isn't great, though. Yeah, we do have Menace Snow. We have enough snow for the Draugr. Let's take the Draugr. That's fair. I'm being a little... Like, that's fine. It's fine. But I keep saying it's fine about cards and not yes. And we want like a little bit more yes than it's fine. And on that front, are we on the priest here? I think we're on priest. I don't know if we're even, like, we could be on, the trouble with the spirit was spec that we don't know we're doing Radian. And priest, if we can pick up the snow, becomes very good. And I don't want the snow-covered mountain. I'm gonna take the priest. So snow's gone from here. You can take Trickster God's Heist. I don't know. Let's see. Do we have expendables? We can take Trickster God and look for some more expendables. Having a Mists in the deck is interesting. Basically, I like having non-basics and weird auras and stuff that you can do a chapter two on. Sometimes you can pull off chapter 2, and when you do that, the card becomes quite powerful. Colossal Plow. I guess we take a mountain here. We could bring back Svella in some world, but it's not the Snowland we're looking for sure. Could also not pivoting to Plow. No plows, Pablo. Counterspell was interesting too. Last pick, Vad. Do I have to play this Bad Blue Giant? Can I pretend that I'm not going to play that? You like the Plow? Why people? What do we like the Plow for? Oh, trading away Trickster God. Yeah, Worm is okay, but it's double green. I'll check the Outrider as a single green. The Mountain was close, but it's just like I don't want this to be red. Like I want to cut this. Like I don't think this is going to be a red deck, so I really didn't want a Snow Mountain. But I'll take an island. I don't know if anybody else is in snow. Usually if someone else is in snow, you don't see late islands for it. So I don't know. Because basically every snow deck is blue. And Pilfering Hawk for a snow reward. I think this is worth it. We're control, filtering our cards every turn. Good enough. Doesn't need heavy snow either, just needs some, right? Well, now with the heat off, it's getting chilly. I put on my hoodie. Yeah, green-black elves would have been a very interesting deck. You're right, Pally. We didn't pick things in the right order to kind of land there. If I had taken that rare pack 2, pick 2 elf rare, then maybe we could have pivoted to that and got there. But we're picking up tools here. I'm starting to like what we're doing. Another thing I like here is that priest plus shadow are good, because what you can do is, go ahead and play your priest to the board. And then have a turn where they play their third creature. Priest is the only creature you've got out. You end of turn shadow. They sack 2 creatures. You untap and you take out the third one. So, or sorry, you have to take out you take out one in advance. Sorry, it doesn't work in that order, but you get what I'm saying. Like basically, priest plus shadow in the right order can get 3 of your opponent's creatures. Kind of do a wrath. But don't do it the way I said. If you try to wait to do priest after you untap, you're going to lose your priest. But you hear what I mean. I wonder if demonic gifts priest is what we want to do too. Like that's kind of interesting, right? Demonic gifts your priest and then kill something and then get it back. Recur removal. Yeah, good point, Mike. That the whole get 3 things with priest plus shadow works with light snow because you can use the priest to get the smallest thing before shadowing away the big stuff. I guess we're not hulking, so I'll take a carve in case, but I hope not to play that. Doesn't seem like something we want. Yeah, hate drafting takes on more meaning here because we're playing everybody we're facing. Dragon Boaster versus what? Raise? These packs have been so bad for us. It's a little bit rough. Bind the Monster is probably the pick for our deck. This is good, but I mean, we're not doing that. It's too late for us to be red. It might be good enough. I still don't even want to cut it. I'll just lose to it. That's fine. We'll lose to the Berserker and then move on. Jinx likes the Raise. These are the two interesting cards here. Do we have enough crossover for Raise to be good? We've got a Shapeshifter. That's going to help. A couple of Priests, maybe. You're right, and Jinx is right that we don't want Bind ever because we're looking to play Shadow. Shadow and Bind, Shadow and Enchantment removal are real non-bows that you want to avoid, so I agree with that. Double white on the Great Hall makes this not playable. The single white with the Floodplain, if it were single white, I would consider that. But I think Jinx is right on the Raise. Or, yeah, let's go ahead and hate this. I'm going to try and wheel the Raise. Nobody seems to be much interested in black. This is playing in pod. And if we don't even get that Raise, I bet we get a chance at another one. Here we go. Raise of the Dreadmarn is not amazing. It's got a lot of setup. You can't just, this isn't a card that just easily produces value. It's a card that needs some work, but we actually have the work here. We have Shadow. So Tegrid Shadow, activate Rise to make 4 zombie tokens. Yeah, and Priest. There's just a lot of combos here with us. So we're going to take it and try and make it work. Bloody Massacre, my old friend. I'm sorry. Red, black. I forsook you. We got a black snowland here we could take. Do we need that? Are we even that much snow? Do we even care? Am I just like taking snow? I mean, we have the priests, of course. But yeah, there's rights that could also play nicely with the other stuff we're doing. We really want a rights also with the Shadow, because that allows you to, let's say we don't have priest, but we have a Pilfering Hawk. If we have Pilfering Hawk and Shadow and rights, we can go ahead and run out the Hawk and know that at least we can crack it for some cards before we crack the Shadow. That being said, rights likely to also, we're in pack 3. It might come around, but I think the Snow Swamp is likely to come around too. Doesn't seem like people are taking them. I'm going to take the first rights because I think the deck really wants one, and it would be sad. I would be sad if we got to the end and I didn't have any rights. And now we get a Behold, which also this deck really wants. So we're getting some late items here that I'm really glad to see. Replicating Ring, somewhat interesting, but we're not there. This is fine. 3/2 Menace, fine. We have one of those too. Not that you can't have multiples, but I liked that option to get a Behold there. I was close, Haj. I was close. Pack 2, yeah. It was pack 2, yeah. Right now, I don't think we are playing either of these green spells, but we're also low on playables. We've got a Hellstorm Valkyrie, which really wants you to have a lot of snow, or just a plain removal spell. It's possible that if nobody is doing the snow thing, we could wheel this. I don't think so, but I kind of just like picking up for the control situation, more removal. You can get into a bad situation if you think you're some sort of attrition-y control deck, but you don't actually have the removal for it. So we're going to take the removal over the Valkyrie and maybe wheel the Valkyrie if nobody's interested. Maybe wheel the Skull Raid if somebody wants the Valkyrie. It is a week's no payoff unless you, I don't know. Like I had the Valkyrie in that 03 deck yesterday, and I never really had it out, but boy, if I ever did, it would have been so good. Yeah. So it's somewhat dependent on that. And we'll take an island here. Although, how are we doing on playables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh boy. 18. 19. I don't know if we're getting to playables before the end of this. If I take this, I guess we just have to play green at that point. And if I need playables, maybe I just need to take the Lindworm then. Ugh. It's double green. That's so bad. I'm going to take the Snowland and just know that we are... This is the trouble with this. Is why I don't like this strategy, or this is the big risk of the strategy, is that you go in on these lands and then you've just used a lot of playables on that. Rune of Flight, interesting. We're taking another feed. It's kind of what we need. That really makes me feel better. Card draw plus removal is just a tried and true way to approach limited. True like the Yeti there. We'll win with whatever if we can control long enough. Yeah, I feel like we found open black, but then the cards weren't there, right? Glimpse of the Cosmos is powerful. Struggle is some more interaction if we're going to be priced into the black, or into the green splash anyway. Yeah, but true, this is a legit control deck. I mean, you know, I've had limited decks with 3 creatures that have been fantastic. I'm not saying this is, but... yeah, let's take it. This is a nice card. Another Hawk would be nice too, but this is kind of like doing the same job as the Hawk, but in a really powerful way. And we do have Changelings for the Glimpse at some point. Here's that Raise that came back as we hoped. That's good. Although, yeah, we have like Raise for our 3 creatures, but they are good creatures to get back, so I'll take it anyway. Not playing anything else anyway. You like Raven Wings over the Raise? They're both weak for the same reasons. They're both relying on creatures that we don't have a lot of. I'm going to hold the Raise. You could almost argue that Raise is removal. It's just a 4 mana clunky delayed removal because we raise a priest, cast the priest, and then kill something the turn after. Another Village Rites, we could slap in that Snow Mountain. Don't have enough. We're not probably just a Faithful. This is where we have to acknowledge our low creature count and just play something that slots in the curve. And we need playables. Like, I'm happy to have it. It's a playable. I want to get to 23 spells would be nice. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Okay, so we're 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Okay, we're almost there. Now we're there. We're there. We can even take Elven Bow if we want, but I think or Run Ashore, but Grim Draugr is what we want. That's the card for us. All right, this isn't fantastic. I have hope that I'll be able to save my hair with it. Variance being what it is, you never know. But this deck can win. This deck has some avenues to victory. Yeah, almost switched, right, to that Elf True, and then it would have been quite good. Oh, Thought Thief, also a nice pick. So we have gotten some very late playables that are going to fill out this deck and make me feel a lot better about it. Yeah, we're probably running both. Skull Raid or another. Let's see. Do we have multiple spells? We do have 2 Feed the Serpents. That would be cool to actually get back. And it blocks, and it's a giant for Glimpse. And we already have a Skull Raid, and we already have Glimpse and Behold for the card draw side of Skull Raid. So we'll take it. Not great, but maybe that means we can cut this Undersea Invader, which I really don't like. Could potentially main deck in a null. Is this a main deck and null format? I mean, it's definitely like a main deck naturalized format, but I don't know if it's main deck reactive naturalized, right? That's the problem with a null. I mean, I think you could, like, I could play this and know that it's highly likely I'll find something to get with it, but it does put you in that spot where you're like, all right, I've got an annul and 1 blue. Any target that comes along, I'm taking it, right? So that's why I don't like it, even though you could include it without it being some kind of embarrassment. And I like that we ended up 2 color. I think we'll keep the Glacial Floodplain in for the snowishness. But we did end up 2 color, so that's nice. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. We don't. Anyway, so 1 cut from this would be a 17 lander. And let's look at our numbers. We did get our creature count up to 11. Looks like we have 11 total creatures, snow and otherwise. That's a reasonable number of control creatures. So if we were to ditch a spell, maybe we still just ditch a creature. Like Faithful still seems... Oh, yeah, but I guess Faithful does work with Raise on some level. But this is tough. Mists we can cut because it's a non-bow with the shadow, right? Let's cut the Mists. I have Faceless in board. What is that? Yeah, I did that on purpose. Are we running this? I didn't think that with 3 snow we were... with 5 snowlands, other snowlands, we were ever likely to activate this, and it's not worth it to just play a colorless snowland. We have 2 giants. We have the Frostpire Arcanist, and we have the Mistwalker. So a little slim, but over the course of a long game, we hope to flash it back at some point. Radiant doesn't like Trickster because we don't have a lot of spare parts. That's reasonable. What do you like in instead? Just big giant? I want to avoid the non-bow. I'd like to try to avoid splashing. So that like gives us the giant. Yeah, that's a good point. Jinx says we could give up a priest and that would be okay, but that's a very, very specific thing. We could give a hawk as well, and if they're not snow, they wouldn't be able to activate. But it's a really good point, Radianware. We are going to make zombie tokens. I am now officially worried, Radian. But we've also come up with enough answers to that question that I'm willing to try it, especially given our lack of overall playables, lack of replacements. If we had some great bench just looking for a reason, okay, but our bench is shallow, so I'm just going to go with it and see how that runs. And yeah, as much as we don't want to trade off a Grim Draugr or whatever, if we're getting some dragon, we'll do it, you know? Yeah, and I'm just trying to avoid the invader for now. So let's do this. Export to MTGA. Hop to over here. Finalize the build. Anybody redeem it? Redeem any bling? Redeem any bling? I really was about to say reding any bleem, which maybe are just the new way we're going to say it. Anybody want to reding any bleem? It's our secret code word. I'm bringing up the bringing it up right now. It looks like basic lands and sleeves covered. Okay, cool. Want some audio here. What's your land experiment? I don't know what the request is. Oh, here. Play unique art land for the Faceless Haven experiment. I don't even know what that means. What's the experiment? Oh. What do you want to, yeah, sure. What would you want to, where you would want to play it for, like a swamp or something? It's just data points. As long as you do it with eyes wide open, Canadian, it's not roddy. It's only results oriented if you draw hard and fast conclusions from it that you're not being open to sample size to, right? Like it's fine to explore it and get data points. Haven for the heist and play 18. Well, we still only have 5. I don't know why you want, like, let's do the math here. Let's do the math and then decide, because this needs snow. The rare land, where is it? Faceless Haven here needs 3. And if we have 5 to support it, that means we need 3/5. We need to be 3/5 deep into our deck on average before we see our 3rd snowland for that Haven. And we have to have drawn the Haven. So we draw the Haven, and then our other 5 lands, 3/5 of 40 is 24. So we need to be 24 cards deep, over halfway into our library, to, on average, sometimes be able to turn it into a 4/3. Like that. Come on. Doesn't that seem ridiculous? When we math it out, doesn't that seem ridiculous? Like, it seems more ridiculous to me to play the Faceless Haven than the Trickster God's Heist. I understand the risks of the Trickster God's Heist as well, but at least I puzzled out both of these. I gave both of these strong consideration, weighed their weaknesses, weighed the options we have to replace these things, and Trickster God came out with a lot of weakness, a lot of concern, and a lot of awareness that we could get stuck in spots where we're not happy with this card, versus a card I just can't see playing. Like you do the math here, and the math that makes no sense. Haj wants the mist. Are you willing to play the non-bow, though? That's I took the mists out because of the non-bow with the shadow. You can do that. You're just saying that if you happen to play mists before you draw shadow, you're reducing the effectiveness of the shadow significantly. So that's why I took it out. But it could be the same eyes wide open thing that you accept, that we're accepting about the risks of the Trickster God. Snow sources power other cards, but I think we're all pretty clear. Like, there's a reason I didn't snap up those stinking snow mountains, because we're not going to play snow mountains in this deck, right? No, Mist is good with Trickster God. Having some enchantments in, because if you, let's say Oppo plays a sweet, no, Kali, I think, well, one of us is wrong, but I think you were right, because it doesn't matter who controls. Once aura based removal is on a permanent, changing the controller of that aura doesn't change the fact that it is enchanting that permanent, right? So if I put Mists of Lityara on my opponent's 3-drop or whatever, and then I play Trickster and they play a Saga, when we get to Chapter 2, I can trade control of the Mists for the Saga. They get control of the Mists that are still reducing the power of their creature, and I get their Saga. So it does work. So maybe that's worth it, although that's funny. It's like, that's good reason to play Mists. So let's play that over the Trickster. Oh, wait a second. So... yeah, I'm gonna stop messing around and just run this, and we can come back and maybe revisit. I hear all of your concerns, but it's the deck we have right now. I'm gonna take the risks I've signed up for. I don't know how many more times I can say it. I'll try it one more time. Mists of Lityara is a good removal spell. However, it is an aura and is therefore a non-bow with our Tergrid's Shadow. So what we don't want to do is play Mists on a creature and then give them a free and easy sacrifice to the Shadow. Is that non-bow worth running because of our deck quality? That's the legit question that I was just considering, and for now I've decided no. But it's close. And I really don't want to cut a Village Rites, even though we are, we only have the 11 creatures. We do have... more creatures with the rare, the Rise of the Dreadmarm, and Village Rites is such an important combo with Tergrid's Shadow that I want to keep it. And yeah, let's go down swamps. I'm with you. Oh wait, let's do our land count here and our color count. So a lot more swamps. We have priests. We kind of want everything though, so we want a little more black than red. With double feed and shadow, we definitely want a little more black than red. Let's see, or than blue. Excuse me. I know my colors. You don't. You're the one who doesn't know your colors. 7, 8, 9 blue, and only 8 swamp right now. So yes, I agree with that. We're gonna go all the way and cut all these. So we want 4 islands, 8 swamps. And I believe what was it? Bob. Oh, they were already in. Darn it. Sorry. I think those were the Bob Ross. I just cut the lands requested. Sorry. But it lets me, I can show you this tool. A Ross. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Happy little mana sources. Sleeves for Mama. Oh no, is it Mama? Oh yes, it is. Lotus for Mama. This is a symbolic choice, as these Lotus sleeves were purchased when chat 6-1'd me, their best effort to date. And what are we going to call this? Worst effort to date? No, I don't know. This is like Slushie. Yeah, artist. The A is for like artist, I believe. D. You only get my hair, not the skin on my head. Let me see who's first. Get my lineup from Hat here, as always. As usually. Jank is up first. Jank in the tank. Prepare to be boarded. Wait, this isn't a pirate set. Why am I using pirate voice? All right. At least this deck seems a little less complicated to operate than the one I was operating yesterday to some embarrassing results. I can do like a Swedish, but that's just probably a different form of cultural appropriation, just not of another minority. Is there currently a best deck? I don't know if there's a consensus best deck in the format yet. But yeah, we'll keep this. I love it. All right, I was going to say we need our second swamp to make all this pull off. Ideally, we get to 5 and fire off this and this. Ideally, we get some of our creatures in the mix. But let's start with Shadow. Foretell. I didn't do a... Tell me how I'm going to do this week, gang. Oh, we have... more giants than I thought. We have 3 giants. Bergstrider, Arcanist, and the Changeling Giant. Jank and I both doing a lot and doing nothing. The board is empty, but we've spent 6 mana. Yeah, a null mana is a little more threatening, but they would immediately see I don't have it unless I put full control on. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, Jank knows I'm not playing in null. Yeah, I'll just hold up the... I really don't want to play any of this, though. Ideally, we really want to play these at the same time, so... I'm going to... maybe it's possible Jank thought that Code Spell Cleric would be considered the second spell after the Foretelling. Yeah, we got time. And to that end, might just play the Bergstrider, tap whatever they do here. Okay, yeah, we're actually gonna get aggro. Demonic Gifts further sets up all of this. That's great. So we have some time here. I'm gonna Bergstride now. And also try to take advantage of Jank's mana issues. Expecting kind of to see a Behold, although they found 4th land, so that's good. Oh yeah, sorry. Appreciate that.
All right, everyone. Chill.
Oh man, so much we can do here. I like setting up... Yeah, well, what is... We could swing... You want to swing and play Gifts and kill the Ox? Why do we care? So let's go... I like the Priest. Lets us get in. But... I want to use Demonic Gifts to bring back the Bergstrider after we Shadow. Like, we're 1 land away from being able to Shadow with Gifts, and that seems incredible. And 2 lands away from Shadow Gifts Rise, which seems even incredible. I'm going to play the Priest. Yeah, I'm playing the Priest. And then we have Village Rites up anyway. Why Shadow is 2 weak plays? Because we don't get to choose. Like, what we're gonna do is wait for Jank to play his good stuff and then hope that Jank sacrifices the good stuff to the Shadow. Like, I don't know what. Yeah, like I like using Priest to kill the code spell so that Shadow gets 2 other things. But I guess that's what I see what you're saying, Hodge. So Hodge is saying if I use gifts to clear the Ox, then the Shadow gets better stuff. But you can see what I'm saying, that gifts on something that's about to die is also awesome. So yeah, we're both thinking the same thing, I think. But I'm going to say... yeah. No, we are playing cards, Krauser. This is a tough choice because I can still do it. I can attack in here and do the gifts plan. It's not the worst because then we can use this here. It's a free attack, but we expect Jank to block, and I'm just trying to figure out if we're giftsing. Yeah, that's true. We can gifts rights. Okay, I'm with it. Jinx has gotten me there. I'm going to do it all now. We're going to I was thinking of using both of these ahead of these, but I think if we do it now, we can, this is actually, maybe we don't even need to do this stuff. We just can win with what we have too on some level. Counterspell? We did pass a counterspell, so this might counter. In which case, we'll just let the village rights be. Yeah, it could be bounce, but looks like we get the damage. So let's do that first. And then we do this. Yeah, I wasn't going to do it. I was just looking to see if it was a cost. Like, this might get countered, but we would still get our Bergstrider back. We just wouldn't get our 2 cards. But we did pass the Foretell counterspell, so it is quite possible the Village Rights gets countered, but we still get a Bergstrider. I saw it coming, Jank. I saw it coming. If we can manage to find one of our 4-mana exile removal spells, the Arcanist would actually... Hey! Oh, I thought it was, but no, it's the other one. If we get our common removal, we could actually get a second copy with this, which is pretty funny. But I think Poison the Cup means we can just send in the Bergstrider, and if they... I'm going to offer the trade first and see, because Poison's an instant. So if they double block, we can blow out a double block, and then if not, we can decide how to remove after. Can't sack the Priest because it's sorcery speed. So that's not an onboard interference there. Let's see. Kind of like Priest getting Code Spell here. And then hold up Poison and see if we want to poison the Braggart or set up for Shadow Rise next turn. Hold Priest. Yeah, we can foretell it for the Scry, too. That's a sensible thing to do. All right. Yeah, we'll hold Priest and get more from the Rise. If we can do it all in main phase at some point, that would be good. Let's do this. I've been playing extra slow in this format because I'm extra unsure of myself in this format, if I'm honest. Jinx wants to block with Priest. But then was that why do we want to do that? We block with Priest. You want to put the Priest on the Boggart to why? Make him boast? And then we don't. Oh, you think because you want to use the poison now. I was still looking ahead to like shadowing, but yeah, we could use poison now and continue to just try and leverage our current board advantage after removal. All right, I'm in. You see where I was at though? I was still trying to I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, and you all are on this, and that's fine. I think you're right. Might be another counter. Didn't we still this might be countered too, which will seem like a blowout, but then we'll just set up for Shadow Rise and get something out of it. I don't know what you mean by that, Haj. I am desperate to make the Bergstrider the biggest thing on the battlefield as it beats his face. That's the plan. I don't know what your plan is. We kind of need land for all of our shenanigans, but right, I'm saying, so now I've switched plans. It was my whole point, Haj. We need land for our good stuff. I believe we'll find it. I believe this is good stuff. I believe I'm going to try to win with the advantage, the proactive advantage instead of reactive advantage. Ox comes back, and now we're going to do the thing. So, new plan. 5 2/2s is pretty good. Oh yeah, it's only no, it's 5. Make sure it taps right for us. You know you're good here, Darkstar. No shame in not reading around these parts. Nice follow. We get Draugr. Feed the Serpent. I think I'll hold Feed. We don't need the Draugr to close out this game. Feed could kill something that could get in the way somehow, and then Arcanist actually gets us a second Feed. Yeah, Doomscar. I mean, it's a legit card, right? It looks like Jank doesn't have it, but that could have been a way to not. That's a reason not to play our other stuff.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Going out in style, Jank. Everybody here approves.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Feeling good as hell. My hair is safe. Yeah, it was close.
That was something. Ah, the beautiful taste of Hajj and Dionysus's tears. Mm. Math Core J is up next. We're working on Rob's imagination. You know, takes all types, including those with very, very, very low imagination. You know, it's good to have both types. All right, this looks good. We're going to keep this. Start our foretelling. We could play the Hawk out, but looks like we have the things to do. We have between Glimpse and Skull Raid and Tegrid, we can just sit here foretelling. So I'm going to just foretell away. Math Core looks like ended up at least with a hint at snow. Both green and blue are the heavy, heavy snow colors. So seeing a Rimewood Falls suggests snowiness. So now we could foretell the Skull Raid or do some glimpsing. Since we don't have a fourth land yet, I'm into the glimpse here. I want to make sure we get land. So we're going to look at the top 3 cards of our library, put one of them into our hand and the rest on the bottom in any order. And then we have a giant that's going to let us do it again out of the graveyard for cheap. So let's go find some land. Wow. So at least we are cutting our way to some land. What do we want in hand here? We only have 1 snow land right now, and this combos with our shadow, so we'll take the Rise. A little rough. We have not found our land. Well, maybe we need to hawk, block, and rights, just or even hawk and rights just to 2 for 2 ourselves. Turn these 2 cards into 2 different cards that hopefully has land. I think that's fine, given our circumstance. I don't like giving up the hawk. I was hoping we would drop this later and use it to do some long-term advantage. We could do the block and rights thing, but then we don't get to play our land this turn. So I'm going to do it now because the whole point is that I want to miss my land drop. That's why I'm doing this. So those of you who want me to get life out of it, I want turn 4 land drop. That's the point. I'll take 3, whatever. And it hopefully shows Math how desperate we are to find land, and maybe Math will dump to the table here. Yeah, let's if we get a land off the top and Math plays a good creature here, we can do our thing. Oh, actually, we need to foretell this first. So, we do have an Arcanist that can get back a Serpent if we want to use the Serpent. We could just Serpent this. And, yeah, or double foretell, also totally reasonable. I like Jinx's line. Let's do the double foretell, take a big smack. Trouble is, then, yeah, they end up with their best. Yeah, 6 is a lot. We could just not be greedy and get the shadow out, clear this out, and basically start over from this position, which is pretty strong. So, and this is a strong card. I'm just going to do this. What's the giant CMC? What? This one? No, it gets cheap. Oh, but right. Maybe it's, oh yeah, it is a bug, right? We shouldn't see this yet. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's doing predictive, but it shouldn't. Yeah, does it let you? I'm gonna go with my. I'm gonna stop this and get playing. I'm gonna do this. I think that's a fine 2-for-1, and I think our hand is stacked to win the follow-up. Now I like. Well, we could. Yeah, foretell. That's what I'm going to do. Double foretell, setting up a long game. And then I'm really wanting to play feed before we play the Arcanist so that we get our second feed. Great recovery from Math. And, you know, the Outrider is enough for me to go ahead and fire off the feed, and then we can Skull Raid to boot. I guess Skull Raid first, see what they want to do. All right. Skull Raid is a good card name. I was thinking about that the other day, too. Good Magic name. What does this do? Found an elf. There's that big elf. Yikes. But we're going to get our removal back for that. I'm going to start with the Bergstrider, though. And we can even cast this right now. If we raise, we get back a Hawk and a Hawk only. That's not worth it, so let's Glimpse. And ooh, we got our Trickster God. Do we want that? What are we doing with that? Looks like we are going to get probably some tokens that we could swap around. But we're going to just kill this thing. Thought Thief, though, is pretty weak. I still think we just take it because Thought Thief is just medium, and Trickster God has some real applications with the Rise. And where do the other ones go? Bottom of library. I was hoping they went to graveyard, but they don't. Okay, so we'll take this because of the token maker. Math might be able to suss out what we have, but we probably are representing a Village Rites more than a Rise, although if that were the case, we'd be using it now. Too bad it's Exile, or we could consider Rising, but we don't. We don't get a token on Exile, so we're going to let that happen and still just follow up with Arcanist to get another feed to deal with this War Master. Dumping their hand. Oh, that's an elf? I didn't even realize. I forgot that was an elf. We were talking about how the green-black elf deck looked pretty good that we passed, so it looks like Math has a solid deck here. Don't mind the land. But we're not doing Trickster God yet. We're going to do Arcanist. Oh, actually, we don't get it. We don't get the discount. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's fine. You got it, Auto Tapper. And can we get the shadow back? No, I don't know what you mean. I like somehow recast this. Well, what we can do is hopefully trade here for something. Do a rise. Although I should have kept 2 black up, then we could raise and rise. Looks like they're setting up to go long, which is going to give us at least a turn to take care of that War Master, so this isn't the worst. Are we dead to land? Well, I mean, we might just be dead because they're so wide, but we can take out the War Master here. Oh, they made a second one? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah. I thought that was just some random elf token, not a copy. What did that? I don't even know what's going on. Is it this? Oh, it's this. Okay. These sneaky lands. All right, so we're probably dead. What are our outs, though? Let me look at the deck real quick. Because we have the 1 removal, so is there something else we can do here? If we or if we behold, or we can trickster. Maybe we can trickster. We trickster the giant. We kill one, trickster the other. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like all we can do, right? We can get 2. We can get both, and then I think we survive. We kill one and steal the other. Trickster the 3/3. I think it's all we got. Radian says, wait. What do you want to do, Radian? Where? Have to have 2 creatures. If we kill one and swap these, then we have a 3/3 that blocks one of them, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still live. I mean, it's not a great spot, but we live. So I don't know. What? I don't think you're reading this right. I think you need to reread. It's not a reading stream, but check it out. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this while shields are down. They're playing blue. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We could go to 1, or we can to eat something, or we can go to 2 and bounce something. I think we just need to bounce. Or not, sorry, we need to eat. Well, that just leaves another creature that it's effectively the same Jinx, except one leaves all the creatures on board. So we should eat. Oh, Herald has Menace. I couldn't block, or I would obviously like to do that. So, 8 mana. We get 3 here, 4, 5. Can we find anything? Life gain gives us a virtual 4. Oops. So we're at a virtual 4 with the life link, right? That means we could take the Herald hit, but we had to like block like everything else, and I just don't think we can block everything else. So this is going to be futile, I think. But let's look at our graveyard too, because we could get a Pilfering Hawk back that at least adds to the board. Behold is too expensive, so I think we are Dobbs, but let's make him do the attacking. Yeah, the Menace makes it all impossible. We are dead on board, and I certainly believe that math can figure this out, but I'm at least representing making your opponent do it. Math is going to do it. I guarantee you that math is going to do it, but you'll be amazed at what some players will miss. Or maybe we're not completely dead. I forgot about the token. The token's exciting. I completely forgot about that we would get a token. That might be the difference. Bo being equipped to something that we can't block, though, is going to be tough times. I think we're still dead, but again, it's complicated enough that you ought to make your opponents figure this stuff out. Good job, Math.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
It's, it's in my range, right, Mike? Always play to making your board-obsessed opponent miss lethal. If there was any way to survive there, Jinx, we weren't surviving the next turn. We had 2 4-power menaces. That was gonna, and we were at a virtual 4. Like, I don't know how we defeat 2 4-power menaces and all the other attackers. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I gave up early. It's possible. Math is for chat, and they told me I was dead, so I believed him. But I certainly believe we had no avenues to win that game, even if we won the turn. You know what I mean? If we survived the turn. Yeah, Rise wasn't going to do much because the token death doesn't trigger it. But I guess I could have played it out. It's all right. My hair's safe, and you guys can go shopping if I screwed that up, right? Make it happen. It's non-token, though. There wouldn't have been that many creatures. Shen is up next. That's a rare, yeah. Jinx already answered, but yeah, that sweepers are rare. Yeah, just doing some nice even splits this time. All right, this is cool. Glad to have a couple of snowlands in hand already for the Hawk and the Priest and the Draugr. And we'll keep this. Liberator, good card, but we will at least threaten to block it with our Hawk. Definitely playing the Hawk to threaten the block and not the Priest that just allows the boast. Nice pick. Ice pick. That's big and nasty, but Draugr does threaten to trade. As long as we can keep the Draugr alive, I'm still fine with this spot. But if the Draugr dies, we could be in trouble. Darkstar is worried. It hasn't gotten away from us, Darkstar. It gets away from us if Draugr dies. Even there might be a justification for attacking here, although we're so control in this situation, I don't care about their life total right now. Yeah, there's commons that can make this real tough spot for us. Raise could get us that back, but I think here we want a glimpse and at least there... Yeah, exactly. No, but, you know, by setting that up, it's why, you know me, I can tilt pretty hard. I can get very, very salty, but I try to set up expectations so that stuff like that doesn't bug me. Like, we're like, yeah, there's a million things at common that wreck our plan, so that when it happens, it doesn't faze me. It's, you know, which is good, because I need places where I'm not phased, given how phased I get on other stuff. Let's start on Glimpse before I even play a land, though. Shadow is going to be our pick, I believe. It maybe gets us out, like, especially we follow with Priest, and then Shadow is likely to get us, we can get the Cleric out of the way, and this, and plus whatever else is going to die. So we can take Feed as well. Is Shadow greedy? Should I just be taking it? Yeah, we could also just foretell the Shadow. That's a good point. But then we don't get the Priest play. I think we still want to... I'm going to choose the Shadow, but I'm going to play the Priest and not foretell the Shadow, because we have the land already. Next turn we can Priest away the Cleric if they play another creature, and Shadow for the value. Right. They could end up with 3 creatures on board. That's why I really wanted the Priest down. Given the play we're going to make, and given, well, I could block here to save 5, or to save 4, but if they do use the upcoming treasure to play a 3rd creature, then our whole plan is wrecked. So as much as yes, the chumping is appealing, but gang, if we lose the Priest and they play a 3rd creature here, the Liberator survives. We can't do that. We could do Hawk blocking. Yeah, Hawk blocking could do it though, right? Chump with Hawk, and then we save 2? This really telegraphs, but is probably correct. Yeah, it's trample, but it does save 2, and this is going to die anyway, right? Well, not everybody was saying Hawk. Some people were saying save 3, so, which is clearly... not that, right? Anyway. Hawk block. Back with another one of those Hawk blocking beats. Anybody? Thank you, David. So now we're just going priest on either of these and then shadow. Bergstrider will be good. What have we got to get back? We got a zombie cleric and a bird and a zombie berserker. We've got a couple zombies. That's what people were saying. We can raise for value. Raise for value is nice, but we're gonna just Bergstride here. Can we Bergstride and raise? Nah. Yeah, I'm coming up on pick. People were suggesting this when I was still poo-pooing it, and those suggesting it are correct in that in the right deck, this is a solid card. +1/+1 is real, and the treasure is real. I especially like these on small flyers.
All right, everyone, chill.
And equip one as always. Oh, I forgot about glimpse. We even get to glimpse. That's sweet. Skull Raid. Or yeah, let's go Skull Raid because we have the raise the Draugr to get actual creature action. So let's take the raid here. Hey, Happy, welcome. Right on. I mean, they have a nice something foretold here, but I like Skull Raiding right now, get their last two cards, and then I like our spot on the board because we can foretell the Raven or raise. And let's go ahead and send in the Bergstrider. If they kill it, that's fine. I mean, we're not going to attack with our Bergstrider. I guess you could make an argument to hold back and threaten to block the Story Seeker. Which I don't know. Well, let's play our Faithful then, and threaten a double block here. Well, now there is, right? Oh, like trample hexproof lifelink. This is we'll still trade with it, right? I think we should do that. Could get blown out, but we can't really play around removal too much at this point, and we at least have the raise behind. Potent. Interesting. So now I like trading for the big boy. Or we could just block here and then accept the 6, have a creature behind, and then we get to raise and then we can raise back the Strider. That's my feeling, Gdanmore, right? This isn't a 6/5. This is a like, what is it? it's the +2/+2 trample. This is actually a 4/3. And this is a 4/4. Yeah, but the lifelink doesn't matter. I don't care about their life total. I care about surviving. If we survive and control the board, their life total isn't going to matter too much. At least 6 points isn't going to matter too much. So I'm going to do, I'm doing this. This is my plan. And now we're going to raise. And Berg. Do we have 2 giants? What do we have in here? Just the 1 giant. Still probably want the giant, though. Right? And then we tap this down again, and we have the blocks for it again. And if we do share a creature type, we have to get the zombie cleric and the zombie berserker. Can we kill it with the zombie cleric? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 snowlands, which is close but not quite. So I'm going to get the giant. You like Priest and Draugr double? Yeah, there's a double block that leaves us with something. That's fair. Maybe I should just go for more creatures. So would you do 2, Mike? You'd get the 2 clerics to do that? All right, I'm in for that. Yeah, that's sensible. We do get the same blocks. We still get good blocks. And it gives us another removal spell. So we'll try that. No, Priest isn't spectacular against the equipment, but I believe to put Mike's argument that got me to change my plan, if we get the giant, we're trading the giant off and the faithful off. Giant plus faithful, trading for this, boom, done. Empty board. We do this, Draugr and faithful still trade for the seeker, but we get a priest behind. That's just better. And if they've got... and I'm not playing around removal. Like, if they're going to blow us out, we're going to get blown out no matter what. Like, we're going to lose to instant speed removal. And thankfully, we still have enough power to get this job done. Could get blown out here, but going to take the risk. Hey, look, I went to 0. I thought they fixed that. We had lifelink. Yeah, priest was free. I should have put it on there, but I didn't. Here we are. Now we just got to fade a million cards while we try to whittle down from 33. Yeah. That's the trouble. That Pablo and I are... I still think we're on pace to lose this particular game. But if Shen can't find anything, we'll take that. $17 to 17 on deck. I mean, that was a 2-1, gang. A 2-1 has just become a 5-4 trampler. But we're going to kill it, so there's that. We're going to get killed, so there's that. We're going to poison it, so there's that. Let's do it on their turn. Upkeep and get the scry, though. That'll be nice. I'll hold the land. The priest can only work at sorcery speed. All part of... I keep bringing that one up as another part of that Tom Lapilli point, that there's a lot of fun policing in the rules. Okay, this is somewhat interesting. The Trickster God. We don't get to keep the equipment that they would put on it, but if we found artifacts, like we could take the equipment. Do we have artifacts to take? I guess not. Is there? I must have. Maybe there's a poison cup meme that I miss. No, we can't give them a flyer, so we just want the village rights. Well, village rights, I guess, doesn't give us action. I'm worried that we'll draw worse than the village rights, but that's fair. We can look for something else. Kind of like the village rights, but I'm not sure. Close one for me. I kind of do too, Bonsai. I don't like my chances here. Oh, sorry. I thought it was on Shen, though. Apologies for the needless delay there. Land not going to help us, but also they're not showing any on-board haste, so I'm going to keep, we got to keep attacking. Need a top deck, or we're just dead. Not helping us today. Sometimes doesn't work out. All right, started off with a win. Have taken a couple of losses now.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
Gonna try to bring it even against who? The Bobster? Rock Bobster? Down, 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 down. All right, playing against the champ. The champ is here. Yeah, the equipment meant we had to grossly outdraw them, and we ripped nothing but lands. So it was gross indeed. This is keepable. We behold on 2 with the Foretell. Or Shadow, we'll decide. Maybe Shadow. I always like to start with a Shadow if I can. There is no Rock Lobster meme. Let's go ahead and foretell the Shadow. Looking ahead to turn 4. And then foretell the Multiverse on 3. If it looks like they're going to get a bunch of creatures out, maybe we go ahead and... no Snowland. Only one Snowland makes me not want to bother with the Priest play. Yeah, if we had the second Snowland, I would do it, but without the... without that, yeah, you just want to play the 3-2 and trade off. That's fine, too. That's fine, too. Yeah, I'm in for that. This is an expendable creature with a couple of expendable creatures. Let's try and clear the board a little bit. Augury Raven we can keep. We got plenty of land. It's a fine creature. Ooh, neat. But we're going to pick that off. Can't figure out how good is this card. Good. Feels like it's more just like it's weird. It's like an enchantment that happens to attack and block out of your control. It's a funny design. But yeah, we'll take the take this trade here. It just feels like a 4-mana enchantment, right? Like if your deck could use a 4-mana enchantment that curiosities your creatures, it's probably fine. They're not playing blue, so we can go ahead and wait and see if they try to do anything like rune it up or, you know, I'm not going to even put it on the stop. Basically, we can shadow. It's an instant, so we can shadow in response to anything they might do, either to add a creature to the board, but mainly we're waiting because they don't show the blue to counter this. And there are runes and equipment and all sorts of things you could do to augment your creatures that we want to get them with if they go for it. Poison the Cup, also good. We can run that out. I think maybe we just let him Helm. Mistwalker. Only the 1 snow continuing for this priest. That's been unfortunate. What about double foretell? Or I'm just trying to figure out if we need to try and offer a trade either with the Raven or the Cup here, or if we just take 5 and get our foretell on. Yeah, because also do Priest Cup. If we do Priest Cup, we don't get the Scry. I'd like to get the Scry, that's the thing. But we could, it does max our mana to foretell, and all of our cards are good. We wouldn't mind a little more land. We like our spells. So maybe the Scry isn't important here. Yeah. Taking 5 isn't worth it when we can do this. And the priest isn't good enough yet for me to even worry about. I like getting the foretell on here. And I do like waiting again, given the lack of counter magic. I like waiting to use the poison on the Recluse after Rock Bobster presumably goes to equip. Nope, not equipping. I wonder if they're going to do this. Got to watch out for that. Yeah, that's true. Green does have a hexproof trick that could be a punishment for waiting. We'll have to. I'll keep that in mind in the future for Mike and Scott pointing out that I am taking some risk on here. But the lack of an equip makes me think they don't have that, or else they would go for it. It seems like they're mitigating the risk of removal by not equipping, or maybe they just have 6 mana they're looking to spend, or 5 mana. You know, they can't do this yet, so I don't know. We're gonna try it though. Punished? Question mark? No, not punished, but I'll keep that in mind. Green doesn't have counter spells, but they have counter target removal spell, right? Brutal. But we'll go Priest and foretell the Raven. This looks like it's gonna get ugly. I'm surprised they. Oh yeah, okay. It's like not surprised anymore. Like, why did they give up a land? It's gonna. Oh, that's why. Well, all right then. I'm giving this one up. We can't win. Getting crushed all of a sudden. That's all right. Get my losing out of the way. Get my losing out of the way here before the
That man's dead back there. Must be dead. He was worse than dead.
big event this afternoon.
His brain is gone.
It was not early. We were doomed. Scott thinks that was an early scoop. We were down to 3 lands, and they are going to put like a million 4/4 trolls? No. Yes, that was kind of why I mentioned it. Vedo. This is the one. Now that I got my hair safe, you guys can 6-1 me. We'll go shopping. I'll have a good attitude about it, and then I'll take it to save my wins for this afternoon. Yeah, Scott, we were about to face, like, in addition to the troll they just made, at least 3 or 4 more trolls. Four more trolls? Yeah, we were not winning that one. Oops. Uh-oh, she's making coffee again. All right, we had a decent looking opener last time that got utterly stomped, so another decent looking opener, we'll see. Well, Rock Bobster, don't you go putting land destruction in your deck and then apologize to me about destroying my lands. I'd rather have you come back here and cackle than apologize for that. Let's see. I'm going to go with the Priest here. We could Behold, but we got time. And Priest has summoning sickness, so, let's get our removal active. Yeah. Do you want it to die? Do you want to die? Well, Ox says, bring it, Priest. Funny. All right, I like the Thought Thief, though. We're going to go with that over Beholding, over Foretelling. Do we want that? It's not doing much right now. We're not really setting up for some big exchange. These aren't exactly heavy trade-off type colors. I think we actually want to graveyard that. Would you keep this just because it's action? We got action. It is good with the Priest. We get something. Yeah, it's good with the Priest. Slow game, and the Priest is the call, right? That, like, we can get 2 with it off the Priest, so let's do that. We'll keep it. Darkstar wanted to bin it. The Priest observation got me there. I like it. Actually doing the Runeforge thing? No! 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 Okay. What are we going to do? We can start foretelling stuff. Don't have the snow to kill this thing. Don't have this. We could offer the Thought Thief. They're not going to take it. So I'm just going to go Glimpse and foretell something. You like double foretell? I think Glimpse is interesting in that it gets us, like, Glimpse seems better than Behold to me. Look at the top 3 and pick 1. Although, for only 2 mana, as opposed to 4 mana, scry, draw 2. Yeah, that's fair. We don't need anything specific yet. Yeah, Glimpse for Snowland could have been interesting. That's a good point. Too late because I played my land, but I'm going to do the double Foretell. And I'm going to set up the Rise here. And then maybe that'll work out next turn, Mike. Right? Because then we could Rise and Priest if we find the find it. Of course, they're just going to suit up the champ and it's going to get out of range on another snow. But we'll see. Did find our land, but did not find Snowland. We'd Behold looking for that. Let's start with a Behold. Oh yeah, it doesn't pump. I just always think those pump, right? But mostly because I've played the ones that do. I've been playing the green one, and I've also been playing the crown that holds this stuff. Yeah, they didn't go for it. But what else are we going to do? I guess we could start with a Glimpse, and they could counter that. And then if it gets countered, it goes to our graveyard for later, and we can Behold for later. Maybe I'll start with a Glimpse. Let's do that. Let them counter the Glimpse if they want to counter something. There's a Snowland that we can grab, or the Village Rites. Village Rites sets up extra Rise value. But the land gets us the Champ dead right now. I'm going to get the land, since it does seem like there could be a counter here. Snowland. We can even send the Thought Thief now. Oh, that can't be countered? What can't be countered? This can't, right. Yeah, yeah, right. The sequence of getting the Snowland can't be countered, right. That's what I like. Champ dead, 2 tokens, but let's give him a chance at the Thought Thief. I'm going to send the Thought Thief. If we wanted to, we could get the Ox here, but we're still going to get the Champ and do our follow. Yeah, and they might counter this, but let's make him have it. You wanted to kill the Ox? I like getting the thing that actually had power, but maybe I was supposed to go for the Ox. I didn't do Behold first because I figure if they actually counter, I might want the Behold. Like, this is going to make a couple of 2/2s, sure. But if they counter a couple of 2/2s and we get to draw 2, that seems really nice. They're continuing to... I'm going to hold now, and if this is something countery... But yeah, that's the thing. I want... in my mind, Rise was the counter bait, and Behold is the desirable spell. But maybe we just don't see that the same. I'm going to pass here knowing that we can instant the Behold. Although now that they have... Why does this... Oh, because we can foretell it. Right. I'm going to draw now while the drawing's good. Or we could foretell... Nah, I'm going to draw now. We're up against blue. Let's get it in while the getting's good. We'll ditch the land and keep the giant. That's going to let us recast our Glimpse. Yeah, that's another reasonable line hat, but I sure like, given that we passed multiple Saw It Comings, I do like playing around that there, if the card draw is that important to us. And I don't think it's gonna, I don't think what they do here is probably gonna matter too much to what we would get. I'm going to make pick puns just all format long about the Gold Vein pick. Been picking this higher and higher. Don't sleep on this pick. Yeah, rune pick is cool. That's nice. I like that a lot. We're going to have to use our removal carefully here, but I think it just does start with Bergstrider, excuse me. And if they want to use put equipment on the Ox, we're cool with that too. We could, let's drop the Ox here though, because they can't trade with any of these, right? Or else they can't put the pick on it. So let's do this. And you do get a meme there. I'll find it. Where'd it go? There it is.
All right, everyone, chill.
And let's send the pressure. Shadow is where it's at for us for sure. Ideally, they don't play another creature here, but seems unlikely. They're going to do something worthwhile. If it's another creature, then they get to keep their best one in the face of a shadow, but then we have feed to clean up after, so still not the worst. But let's see what happens here. I like that. Great. Bound in Gold gives us now something to sack. So this is like the perfect play. The only other thing more perfect would be another Bind in Gold on our Thought Thief. That would be like... Can you do another one, Bonsai Tree, please? Gold vein gonna tell me where the treasure is. Is that what you're after? That's what it made me think of. Oh no. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, Gold Lion will show up in a starting soon song of the day, I'm sure. It's got gold in it. Feed and swing. Yeah, just feed the... You want to feed the cursor or the hawk? What do you want to feed, Shen? If we're feeding the courser, we don't even need to do that first. We should just attack. Yeah, I like Raid forcing their hand a little bit. We don't get feed up though. Do you want to foretell that? Radiant wants Shadow now, feed next turn. Let's send and see if they chump. Yeah, let's start with an attack, because if they drop down to 2 creatures, we're in a great spot. I don't think they will, but, you know, let's give them the chance. Yeah, let's give them a chance. And so now, what do I think is best here? This is where, what I've been doing too much lately is just looking at chat and waiting until they tell me what to do. Let me actually be a Magic player and figure out what I would do. Because it's an interesting situation with the Shadow and the one other creature. I think I like foretell Shadow and then hold everything, because instant feed and Shadow are both instant speed. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do that. And I do like the feed on attack. We might run into a counter spell, but what this does is also tries to get... first, it prevents the pick from being moved to the Hawk and getting treasure. No, I don't think we're shadowing their turn. My plan is to try and is to feed this turn and have shadow for next turn. That's my plan. You like holding feed? Well, it's my plan. I'm doing it. We've been stroked. So that's unfortunate. But we can put out a Raven here to block in the air. Oh, they're going for us. I don't care. Yeah, that'd be nice, but that's all right. Hello. Got all sorts of things to do with a bound in gold giant now. We can steal the pick. We need an artifact to steal the pick. How do we steal? Oh, how do we, like... We could steal the Courser and then deal combat damage and then... No, it could work. We need to make treasure with the Courser. Right. If we give them a bound giant, they sack it to the shadow and they get the sweet play, right? So as much as it's cool to think of swapping that, well, I'm not talking about this turn. I would say chapter 1, we take the Courser. Oh, and then chapter 2, it exchanges before we have the artifact. Right, sorry. So we could exchange control of, like, the Rune of Sustenance. And that doesn't do anything. So, yeah, I kind of like Skull Raid last 2 cards here. And then Foretell Raven? Yeah, we could just play Raven to have a blocker in the air. That's interesting. Well, this draws us a card. And Raven or Draugr, we do have 1 priest, but nothing else, so we're going to just do the Raven play. Yeah, it'd be nice if we got a land there, but didn't find it. And if we send in, we can send in. We get cracked back for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The lifelink makes the crack back too rough. I'm going to keep back. Yeah, no point in swinging because of the lifelink. Okay. Too bad both our feeds are already gone. I don't think we have any other doubles in the deck, do we? So I guess we just are on Shadow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we can't find a land. We need 8 to do Shadow into Trickster, but we do have Shadow into Raven. So Raven will still block the Courser. In fact, we have Raven Shadow on their turn if we want, and then we can Draugr end of turn. So I'm just gonna start with the Raven and pass. Unless, I guess we could do it now to clear attacks for us if we wanted to get our own attacks in, but I'm going to continue to... That is the plan. That's just the plan next turn, Haj. The trouble is if I execute that plan, Haj wants to swap, and we all are looking at the swap, but if I swap before I Shadow, then they get to sack the Strider to the Shadow, so I want to Shadow and then swap, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, you're right. We won't be able to Draugr, but that's okay. We're still doing the shadow thing. I don't think they're ever sacrificing their Courser here. Like, it's just, this is their best creature. So there was, like, disguising it somehow I don't think gets us anything. Well, that's good. Maybe we need to take that. Yeah, we're gonna Shadow Shen. Just let them declare their attackers first, right? Oh, oh, that's a good point. I took a risk there. I forgot about the landfall part. Shen's totally right. I just got lucky, Shen. I was thinking of this as just the 2/3 Lord, but I forgot the token part. So we just, yeah, we could have shadowed in response to the trigger. So I would have been bailed out, but I wish I had just remembered what the card said. That would be even better. Would not have been punished. They're going to give up their Hawk and their Ox, I expect. Maybe they think the Ox is too important on blocks, Ox blocks, but I would guess Hawk, or maybe Draugr Ox, if they think the flying is more important. Oh yeah, what'd I do, Haj? Yeah, that's true. Although this lets me block knowing how they've chosen to sacrifice, right? Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Good point. I could have chumped and then sacked the chumper. It looks like they made it irrelevant with their choices. Why do you want the 2/2 token, Mike? Oh, to swap, of course. Yeah, I was thinking of just worst creature heuristics. We'll still make the swap, but I should have kept the token with our intent to swap. I can only think about like my mind is moving through time and only remembers the last 5 seconds and can look ahead about 5 seconds. I feel like that's where I've been all week. 5 seconds on either side of my brain is all I get right now. We can get the priest. Do we want to do that? We could just give him the 3/2. Swap land? We can't swap lands yet. I don't know what you mean, but we could do that. We don't have everything. All our lands are basics. So we'll play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can raise a 2-drop, play it, and swap it, which is what Mike is suggesting instead of sending the thief. And I like doing that. Yeah, Tron wanted to hold the land, but I'm going to do the... They do have 1 snow. I don't know how much more snow they're going to have. Yeah, reading the cards. Swap, then get landfall, but we can't do all of that. Oh yeah, we can swap and get landfall if we hadn't done the small thing, but I'm locked into my choice now. I'm going to do it. I've done it. I've made the choice. I mean, I could even, let's see, the other thing we could do is get the giant back and shrink down, but I want to steal that thing now. I'm going to do it. It's true, we still might want to swap the 3-2, right? Am I still, let's talk about that. Why are we giving them removal? I'm going to give them the 3-2. Stealing a flyer, clogging the ground, because this is going to let them go too wide, I think. And we have a flyer for their flyer that's going to get, and ours is going to get big and theirs is going to get small. So we're going to do this. Question is, Thought Thief or Priest? And I'm going to give them the Thought Thief. I like having the removal. And we will stay back on D, though. Nice thing about this card, when you have it at all, is just that, like, all your draws are good. Your draws are either a 2-2 for free or your spells, right? Pretty good. That's so Raven. But this on the Protector still gives us all the Protector stuff. This on the Raven is sad, but we can kill the Flyer and still stay somewhat stable with the Arcanist about to come down. Yeah, we're going to sack Zombie, but it's sorcery speed, so we gotta wait. There's nothing worth... Yeah, we're not doing anything. Wait, I just want to go... There we go, that's fine. They're both controlled by them. Decline. Yeah, we just submitted 0, basically. 5 mana, can do this and this. This is free. Let's do that. I've also been playing extra slow because I'm so paranoid about all the mistakes I've been making. It's been a tough set for me so far to stream. It's been hard. It's been very difficult. I get worn down from just reading. Like, I know this is not a reading stream and everything, but like, especially so, I just feel like there are rares that I'm just like, I'm not reading this. I don't even want to read this. Like, this game is so close to over, I'm just not even going to read it. Let's get our free creature. And stay back, though. We don't have any attacks. Demonic Gifts is great. We can't use it on Maya, or Maya will go back to Oppo's hand, but we can use it for our own stuff. We do have attacks now. If they... Yeah, we can send the lifelinker and see how they want to block. And then we get a lot of life back. But I really like to use this on ETBs if possible. But It does. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. I might be just trying to play it because I have it, though. I don't know. I kind of feel like I should be saving this or something, but I don't mind getting out of range here, too, getting a little more life. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what am I doing? I'm with Shen. I kind of just like, but now I've done it. I'm going to do it because I committed Shen, but I think you're right. I should have not even bothered attacking, but since I did, I'm going to do it. Oh no, our village rights. Too bad. But yeah, if we had just waited, we would have drawn the village rights. I mean, it's results oriented, but like to see what the play would have been, we would have found the village rights and been able to put it on the Raven, village rights the Raven, draw 2, and return the Raven to the battlefield. That would have been a sweet sequence. Library counts, they're 11 to our 11, so we're ahead on that front by exactly 1 card. And we can just kind of sit back, I guess. We don't have great attacks into 18 life and a lifelinker. So this could be coming down to decking. I don't know what other surprises Bonsai has. Yeah, good point. Mike, sharp thinking. If we get to the point where a dead faithful is lethal, we need to remember that. Which is to say, both of us are under 3, we do this, and you're milled out and lose immediately. But we gotta be timed right. Yeah, they can just bounce with the Ox, so it might not do anything. Heck, maybe we will get wide enough with all these dorks. I'm worried about a flyer here. We got white-blue. A big flyer could easily come in the next several draws. And now we got a Hawk we can't even really use, because if we do, we get behind on the card on the decking race. But we can play a 2-3 and start attacking with it. We deck them before we do 18 damage with the Hawk, but it's a start. What good draws are there? It's hard. My untapped GG doesn't work well with this format. With the Bergstrider's going to freeze something. Uh-oh.
All right, everyone, chill.
We're flooding, but is it a flood?
Oh, here comes the flood.
I don't know if you can actually flood when you're actually just going to the bottom of your library. We can attack in the air now, and the Draugr is not the worst. No reach. We're gonna get wrathed. Watch the wrath hit. Shen's like, so hold a creature, Ryan. Yeah, the draw is not optional. So if they draw off Vega, that's not optional. But 3-powered flyer in the air is beating what we're doing. $11x menace. 1, 2, 3, 4 snow pumps. So we get 8x menace, not 11x. Yeah, at 5, I think we are just... Like, what is attacking even... What does attacking with an 8-3 get us? It gets us a trade for one of their creatures, and then, okay, here we are. So I'm just holding. I will continue playing lands, though, to go wide. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attackers, technically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So getting in for, we could get in for minimum 12 on an attack. Lifelink matters, though. They're not at 16. We can start attacking with the Faithful when it's lethal for them to block, but then they just bounce with the Ox, but then we gain 4, which we might have to do against Vega. No blocks here, though. They're at 4 to our 5. And another Draugr. Hold it, says Shen. Well, honestly, if they Wrath, then we win. Like, shit, this doesn't even matter anymore. Like, if they Wrath, then we play this, we don't even have time to win before they deck. I guess at pumping we do, so I'll hold it. If we ship the 4/4 for life, yeah, that's fine. We can start shipping that. I think Bonsai will put Ox on Faithful, but that's fine. That's what we expected. We're just doing this to get life. If they want to trade, that's fine. If they want to take some damage, that's fine. But mainly we're expecting Ox on Faithful, and that's fine. Yeah, if they want to eat it, they could, but then it dies and gets them closer to mill death. We want it to die. Not weird at all, Darkstar. They don't want this to die because we're actually playing a decking game, not a damage game. No worries, man. It's a complicated set with a lot of stuff to miss. A lot of stuff to miss. No, we're 1 ahead. So if this Wrath, we would be at 1 card, and they would be at 0 cards. Shard token. Unblockable could be pretty nice. What do these do? Scry 1, then draw a card? You go for that.
shard. I'll throw you.
Ah, that's true. They can time the wrath to get us. You're right. They can time a wrath to get us to mill first. That would be a good out. Oh yeah, if we can do anything to kill the faithful, of course we're going to do so. Magical shards. Imagine magic condensed into something physical. Well, we get 4 life back every time. Or they die if they block it and kill it. And yeah, we can send... We can actually just kill Nico, though. With 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers, we can send 6 2-powered attackers and just kill Nico. So we'll do that and send the Faithful. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Yeah, this is 6 total. And we can send Draugr 2 as the... Yeah, I like Menace for good measure. Get 1 extra creature going and a Menace 1 to boot. I just gotta go full control to make sure I activate the Menace. Let's try this. And now we are in the danger zone where if Bonsai figures this out and has the tools, killing the Faithful on their turn kills us. So we are actually at risk on our own Faithful now. So something to consider. Do I have snow? What do you mean? I have snow. Is it worth it to loot? Interesting question. It depends on what's in our deck. Probably not. But I do think we can play the Draugr at least. There's no sense holding, like, Wrath is, like, playing around a Wrath that way doesn't seem right anymore. Interesting game. Looting swings the decking back to us, which is why we don't do it. Yeah. But if they're looking for a removal spell, it's understandable because they kill the Faithful and we lose. So I understand what they're doing. They're taking, yeah, this is it. If it's removal, I almost want to, all right, they're doing it. They're on their own terms. I salute you. Woo! That was... I should have... I don't know what I... Like... But I can loot in response to them doing something to kill me, right? Like if they had come up with something, then we loot in response, right? Maybe? I don't know. Were we supposed, like... I know. That's true. But they had a draw. I don't know. I'm probably missing something that True is saying that's true, and I'm not getting it, but I'm going to move on right now. I can't process what you're saying. I'm just going to be dumb about it and take on Tron here. Maybe somebody else can... I suppose once they drew once, we could have looted, yes. But I don't like looting until they've done the action of drawing. And there was some talk of doing that, which maybe confused me. All right. Got on the same page as True, at least. I didn't update my record. We got that one narrowly, so I'm still playing to win the week and playing still to save my gems from capitalism. And this looks like a good start to do that. I like it. We got the Priest into the Rise combo. Maybe you can go Poison, Priest, and Rise all on one turn. That would be sweet. Yeah, we were sweating it, because if you had removal for our Miller on your turn, the thing that was threatening to kill you kills us instead. Oh, hey, look, it's Battlefield Raptor. Finally. Finally. You know what happened with the DRE. Brought to you by Comrade Cards. I don't know if Comrade's around, but I love that one. Let's get our blocking on. And it's a free attack. What are we worried about if we block? The run amok? Run amok would get us. If they run amok on their whole turn, though, is that the worst? I'm going to call because we have removal behind 2. It was run amok, but we got a card out of their hand. So instead of trading a Priest for one of the creatures, we traded a Priest for the run amok, but we still traded for some value for them, and we can play the Draugr Thought Thief now and just hopefully block. It would be, just offering a 3-power block here. And I'm going to look at our library, although we could do them. Like, I'm pretty happy with this. I don't care what we draw right now. I would take land, I would take spell. So given that I don't really care, although I don't know enough about what's going on with Tron to know what to do about his hand per se, but I can still know that it's aggro and make a decision based on that. So let's do that. And yeah, I think that's worth graveyarding. All right, we have a flyer we could use to stabilize, attempt to stabilize. We can do a couple, what about a foretell, and then set up a big turn after that? Oh, good point. If we feed now, we can set up to get the other one. I like that. And this is pretty scary. We got to go with the flyer over the cavalry, even though the cavalry is a real problem, as you can see. This card has overperformed and has been one of my favorites in the red-black decks that I've drafted so heavily to start the format. Feed and a land, searches the next one and stops 3 power. Yeah. Let's do this. Maybe they'll be out of creatures. And I'm going to stay back, though. And yeah, we'll take this. I mean, if we don't, what are we doing? Like, if we just to take 2, I think we have to take the trade and hopefully find a land and giant. That's the plan. That's the dream. No land. So then, what's the play? Faithful is still good on this board. The flyer gets there, but lifelink on the ground is nice. So I'm going to do that. Giant doesn't work right now, but I mean, we could Raven. I guess Raven blocks everything currently. Should we just play Raven? I'm being silly. I should just play Raven. They need to have something where this stops 100% of their creatures on board and makes them have something either in hand or on top of deck. Hey, OPK. I am not liking it as much as Zendikar. I'm finding it to be a very difficult format. My brain hurts is indeed correct. We do not have the luxury of not blocking. We're going to block the cavalry is actually the thing I'm scared of most here. But I'm probably another run amok. Ugh. Tron aggroed me out, and I got the wrong land. So, are we just dead, is the question, and I think the answer is no, because we're at a virtual 9 with the Faithful. So we just play the Faithful and try to get there from here. This has to be a blank, or we're toast. Like a creature, they get hasted. Removal, we're just dead. Land would be great. But that's a good... So... Yeah, that's a good sign still. They're only sending things that can trade with the Faithful, so they're signaling no trick, and we do get to untap with the Arcanist and some extra life here. Don't get our other feed, please. No taking our other feed, though. Arrgh! I was very specific, Magic Gods. I was very specific. So now maybe since we can't get that back, we can go Priest and hold up Cup. Although we don't have enough black mana for that. So that's not a play. I think we're just dead. I think chat has won the week, unfortunately. Boo, Worms. I don't have that one in either. Play a giant, we get block, and we're dead to that. We have to do 2 things, and we can't do 2 things, so I just don't know what to do. I wasn't even trying to cast that. I was trying to hold that back. I think we're just dead, but let's make Tron attack. Yeah, this deck has had a rough day of it. Some close games, but I have officially lost the week. Good job, chat. One more chance to bring it to a series tie, though, as I won last week 4-3. Mama is licking her chops, starting to browse the store, I bet. And the anchor chat is Pac-Man. Mike's whole thing on Arena is piling up resources he doesn't need. That's what floats Mike's boat. He's like a dragon. Mike is just a dragon. Why? Because I can. Because I can own it. Look at this. This is just the day here. Give me a snow-covered swamp, and this hand actually looks decent. Instead, it's a mulligan. Not even... We don't even have a foretell here to save us. This looks good, though. Nice recovery hand. We're going to keep, and with no island yet anyway, I guess I'm going to ditch the Mistwalker. And I don't want to play it on 3. We're looking to Shadow in this game. I will Priest, though, because the whole Priest Rise Shadow thing works quite well. And I'm going to do it here, especially seeing a mountain. We're going to lead on some defense. Yeah, that one was a little faster there, Tron. Good game. I'm telling you, I'm looking to go Boros aggro or Rakdos aggro or even White-Blue Skies aggro. But I'm going to draft an aggro deck for the showdown this afternoon, or I'm just going to get into trouble. I know it. Oh well, you heard it from Mama. No shopping today if you guys do win. If chat manages to win the next one, oh well. So, is it worth shadowing or we could feed this to avoid the draw. It's like, thank you, Pablo. Appreciate that sub. We can feed the Berserker to deny them a single draw, but I don't know if that's worth it. I'm going to hold it up. No, actually, I'm gonna work towards the whole big plan. Whatever. Do your worst, Pac-Man. I'm going to Shadow, Rise, and Priest all in the same turn, and it's going to be great. If they do the 3 mana one, that's a little more painful because they get 2 cards, but still, I took the risk, I guess. Yeah, I think the deck is better than it has performed so far today, but also chat is just good. You know, like, they don't mess around. The people who come to play me are good players, and it's always a real challenge to even win the week besides protecting my hair. Full Art Snow, I could be sold on. You got me, Mama. I kind of want to lose just so we have an excuse to go buy Full Art Snow, if I'm being honest. That sounds interesting. I like that. I like Full Art lands. If I go with the Bergstrider, we're in a spot where we shadow for bad value, but we're also in a spot where nothing much is happening here. I'm going to go with the Bergstrider.
All right, everyone. Chill.
It's a non-bow with the shadow in a sense, but I'm kind of now holding this stuff for later and somewhat saying, Pac-Man, what are you going to do? Deal with my giant, or it's going to take over the game, or something like this happens, like, okay, fine, well, we'll do it anyway. But we can also just feed this and keep going, and that's what I'm going to do, because it's exile, so it doesn't even matter if they sacrifice. This can become indestructible, but indestructible doesn't trump exile. Strong value play for Pac-Man there with the value sack. We could rise for a single thing here, but that's not worth it either. I'm going to continue pressing my onboard advantage. All right, Demon Bolt is fine. We could go ahead and Rise now. Rise gets us 2. But I'm still thinking we wait and let them dump hand and get like get this plus this next turn. I'm gonna wait. It's possible that Pac-Man will play around this. I mean, I'm also against opponents that know my deck very well. That's a tougher thing. It's much tougher for me to pull off gotchas in the chat Gauntlet, especially on the final game when Pac-Man has watched me play this deck 6 times. Might have a clue what's up. You know, might be thinking about what we could have here. But this is still a worthwhile spot to run our play, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, people just know it's an extra degree of difficulty for me, but that's okay. It's all part of the game. Fair enough. Why didn't that... Oh, one was a token. One was a token. I'm way down now. Way down now. I guess we trade off. I don't know why one or the other, but keeping the board clear seems okay for us. We're gonna save the Poison Cup for something better than a token and try to engage in the race with a Grim Draugr. But with this having sat here forever, I kind of expect this to get picked off by Bolt. We'll see. Not a Bolt, but it has gone away. Really happy that we're going to get Scry 2 out of this, whatever we use it on. Glimpse, also fine. Only one of our giants down, so this should be useful. A feed and a behold and a village rites. The feed is interesting. Didn't we already use... We already used the one. So that's our other feed. Behold, though, is... We have some removal, so let's get back in the game card-wise, yeah. And I like... we can behold and then have both... We can foretell and have both behold and feed up and poison up for their turn. Oh, that's true. It didn't go to the graveyard too. So I'm getting, some of these are saying graveyard, some are hand, some are bottom of library. It's all confusing me. Don't need those. Happy to see them go. And as Mike pointed out, we actually get our removal spell thanks to this, and thanks to the giant, we get to cast our card draw spell too. Full value. Could glimpse now. We've played our land. If we glimpse, we don't have poison up, but I think that's okay. I don't think like what's the real punishment if we have to wait till we untap before we poison something? Whereas there could be a punishment of like our graveyard gets exiled or something. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what might cause us to lose glimpse, but I'm going to cast this while I can. Raid or Draugr both represent card draw. If we do raise, we get giant. Yeah, we could keep the raise and get a couple of giants back. Skull Raid is gonna help us attrition them out though, right? Yeah, let's get the raid. Oh, the thing is, yeah, if the Arcanist dies, would have been okay with the Draugr down below. Got a block. Another Jarl, I think, is probably coming. Still had to do it, no question. And now we can Skull Raid poison and be in an excellent spot. Just gonna do that. Two lands, so they got max negative value out of our raid. We can also just feed. Well, I don't have the mana for feed, so yeah, we'll poison. I guess I'll wait. They're playing black. They don't have hexproof or counters, right? I guess they could sack for value, but I'll... yeah, they could sack for value, like if they found a sack and draw two, so I'll just do it now. Good scries, at the very least. We've put 4 lands on the bottom in our double scry 2. Oh, that wasn't land, but there's lands we put on the bottom the other time. Yikes! How about we could give them a hawk, although they do have snow-covered mountain. I kind of don't want to do that. I like feed and then hawk to start looting. Let's go hawk. And this is the... People didn't like... there was acknowledgement that this has a lot of downside in our deck, and we're seeing it right now. We just don't have a lot of cards we want to give up to our opponent, but it was still better than anything we had on the board, which is the main thing. Now, I fed without giving him a chance to do something like take that, sack it for value, and I probably should have just done it again. I'm being inconsistent here, and I don't have a good reason for my inconsistency. Last turn, I decided we should kill before they draw. This time, I decided to let them attack. There's no rhyme or reason here. I can block. Well, in fact, I'm not going to block because... No, I'm going to block because if this doesn't work, I don't want to die. So let's do this. And we do have 3 life, which is not 2. I'm going to pitch this swamp. Looking for some action, even though it taps my blocker, because we're not dead yet. All right, I'm gonna pitch the swamp and sack this hawk. Oh, can I? Ooh. Ooh, you see what I see? You see what I see? Yes, they see what I see. I'm glad I saw it. Let's go full control. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. So I can decline or... Yeah, 1 is slower than 2, so I should still probably swap it. And then writes now in case we find something to foretell or whatever. Oh, I got all excited. I thought we were going to pull off a sweet play, but it was a non-bow. Or rather, it was not a combo. Not necessarily a non-bow, but not a combo. Yeah, Grim Pac-Man has snow lands, but if we can somehow trick Pac-Man into board controlling for the next 5 turns instead of killing us, that would be good. And do we need to do us or them? Maybe us to find answers. We need answers. Hey, that's an answer. Library, please. Unfortunately, the snowlands are... this is a basic land, so we can't do any swaps. It's non-basics. There are some cards that I've actually read. Some. Don't get your hopes up. Hey, it's a changeling! Hey, it's a berserker!
Come on, berserker. Girls think sexy.
My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Hey, it's a rune!
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain.
I don't know what that had to do with runes. I bet he likes runes. Don't mind this drain either, getting us a little bit out of burn range, although there's not much burn in this set. There's the uncommon that could have killed us from 3, though. I'm going to leave... I like the Mistwalker on D, since... although it does attack for a lot, and this does defense as well. I mean, we could send... You say send Thief, but we could send Mistwalker and get in for 4 and play the Raven, right? Or not, maybe not for 4, but we can get in for a couple? 3? And then this is the thing I'd rather block the Berserker with anyway. That's a fair point. I don't know, if they use the Frostbite, that's fine. Land. All right. We are ahead. I think we have to trade off here, although we could, at this point, make an argument for... Nah, I guess we just trade here. That's fine. Yeah, we'll hold Walker back now. Great draw in terms of giving us some more life cushion, and we can just send Raven for our damage. Uh, 9 cards to 11 cards. Doesn't look like it's going to be a decking game, but it's another close one given the aggro from Pac-Man, too. A little surprising. And we do have 7 in the air. It's true, we are threatening lethal currently. Ooh, nice. No longer threatening lethal. Wow, what a pull. But, top deck after top deck in this one. This has been a great game. Good game, Pac-Man, if you watch this later on the replays. Or if you're stream sniping right now like a... No, you're not. That is a much worse top deck than Immerstrom Predator returning from the graveyard. And now I don't know what we can do about this sitch. I guess we say... I mean, if we send in, what happens? They block, they sack anything. It becomes a 4/4. Yeah, we're not done for. We have... do we use both of our feeds, though? I think we use both of our feeds. Like, the one trouble is that we're kind of out of removal. I guess we have one more of those 0/4s left. Yeah, it stabilizes them, though, and puts us in a spot where we were threatening lethal. We were just going to straight up win the game, and now instead we are top decking and trying to top deck better than Oppo. Well, this is actually a scary sign because it suggests that something else is coming out to stop this crackback win. Do we need to block? This implies the +3/+3/+3/+2 trample. There's just Pac-Man is too good a player. Like, you might against a complete rando. No. You don't think we can win if we block? I don't. If they have +3 trample, we lose on the spot. If they don't have run amok and we block, then we still have outs to win because we can find the minus. We have 1, 2. Yeah, we have enough snowland now to kill this, although not without the haste. I guess we're kind of in trouble. So we literally cannot beat it. I don't think we can beat, because of their ability to sack multiple things, because they can 5, 6, 7. I mean, they can just tap, like, this isn't even once per turn. Oh, no, it's when it's tapped. Never mind. So I was thinking they could pump this up to 7 counters, but the thing has to leave the graveyard. It has to become tapped, and it's not going to become tapped again unless they untap it or whatever. So, okay, it's going to stay as is, but the bottom line is... How many cards till feed? I don't know what you mean by that. We don't have any feeds left. We have feed. We have 2 feeds in the yard. Oh, didn't we? Wait, maybe we do have another feed. I thought I counted 2 feeds. Oh, they exiled it. I swear we used both of them. There you go. Yes. Thank you. So... the bottom line is we're going to lose to Run Amok right now, but it's correct because we can't beat Run Amok. So we're going to pretend like Pac-Man is a bad Magic player, okay? Everybody pretend with me that Pac-Man's a bad Magic player. And You want double block, but how do we win after that? That's my problem, East. If we acknowledge that Pac-Man is a good Magic player, then how do we even then what do we do? But I just want to know how we win, because like we can win if Pac-Man's a bad Magic player, or he's made a mistake here, right? We can win if he made a mistake, but I don't know how we win if we don't do this. We can't win by blocking, but we might win by not blocking if Pac-Man's bad. All right, I'm sure he's terrible. He's terrible. No blocks. Pac-Man's we got this. There's no way Pac-Man has anything to stop us from winning, cracking back for 7 here. Look, we even found the priest. Wow, that's interesting. Trouble is, it doesn't matter that we found the priest, because we still only have 1, 2, 3, 4 snowlands. So by the time we can activate it, the predator's already 5. Okay. So yeah, it's removal, but we're gonna, again, since we have no other choices, we're gonna play like he doesn't. Yeah. Could we? Did he? Oh! He missed it! He missed it, everybody. We took the chance and he missed it. Pac-Man, you're not a bad player, of course. I was suggesting that if you didn't have it, that you were bad, but of course, Pac-Man is not a bad player. I was merely super surprised that we pulled that off, right? I was more than 99% sure. Looks like, missed that we had crackback for lethal, or it could have been we'll ask Pac-Man. Okay. Completely through math is hard. We weren't sure that we were, as you will watch on the replay, Pac-Man, we were desperately deciding whether we assumed you were on Run Amok. We all had you on Run Amok, and I was trying to decide if we could beat a Run Amok by blocking, and I didn't feel like we could beat Run Amok by blocking, so after much, obviously, as you saw, deliberation, we decided to put you to the test and say, all right, look, Pac-Man's a great player. We are almost certainly losing to Run Amok, or Pac-Man has removal for the crackback. But I feel like if we block and lose our creatures to Run Amok, we also just can't win this game. So I just felt like the only way we could win is if somehow, some way, you had done bad math and we had you on the crackback, and miracle of miracles, sometimes, because this game is hard, Pac-Man made a mistake and we got him for it. So good game, Pac-Man, no shame. This game is stinking hard. Glad, tired of my opponents all playing perfectly against me on stream anyway. But I did not win the week, but I did manage to protect my gems with a 3-4 week. Good job, chat, on the win of the week. I'm glad I kept you only at the 4. But you know what? I don't think that... I'm not sure that Pac-Man's misplay at the end of that game should cost Mama her bling. So let's go see what's here anyway. Fun, so fun, I'm willing to go look at the deals, or like we get Boros sleeves. Anybody want Boros sleeves? Bundles. All right. Because you all are so awesome, and because this has been such a fun week, and because I need all of your support when I come back on in, 2 hours and 15 minutes, I'm going to be back on air at 2 hours, probably about 2 hours, and then 15 minutes after that, we'll be kicking off the Streamer Showdown. So come on back for that. And in the meantime, congratulations, chat, on an excellent week. You won the week. I'm going to be a softie, and we're going to buy some bling. Right on. Great event as always. Thank you, Hat, for running the show. Thank you to all the competitors who took their time to play with me and set aside time on their Friday to join the content here. A lot of interesting games. The format is interesting, but it is certainly breaking my brain right now. And hopefully that is a nice little warm-up for this afternoon. And I'll make a good run of it in the Streamer Showdown. Would love to make the finals. Thank you, Queen, gift and subs. I love it. If I do go 2-1 or better in this afternoon's pod, I will advance to the finals tomorrow. So there is a chance that I stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream to commentate the finals if I don't make it. I'll think about that because it's a fun event, fun to be part of it, and it'd be nice to contribute to the content even if I got eliminated from the event. So let's try and get 2 wins or better this afternoon, and if not, I will try and show up to do some commentary on the finals anyway, right? Sounds good. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you, YouTube friends. Catch you next week.